So my name is Dipender Kaushik, and I am founder of Dunali Games, a studio based out in Gurgaon. And let's do a quick KYA, know your audience. A quick show of hands. How many of you guys are from non-traditional hubs? Anybody here from non-traditional hubs? You are. Every backside, some people. Awesome. And everybody else is from Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune. Is it so? Hello? Yes. Awesome. I mean, come on, guys. The IGDC just started. Like, come on. We have 2 long days ahead of us. So I think it's taking some time. So, anyways, I'm here just to blabber about my experience and hope that you folks make some sense out of it. And I think this is not working. Yep. We are done with quick KYA. How many of you guys are making games from people from non-traditional backgrounds? How many of you guys are making games already? And how many of you are thinking of starting to make games? Interesting. There are a lot of people. Nice. So I hope you guys learn from what I do here. So as I'm from Gurgaon, somebody not from these cities, and my journey is basically something that some of you guys have already started, and I am going to talk about how I started. And basically, it was very, I'll say, not easy. It was a roller coaster ride, but something that enabled me to build a studio from not these cities is the 3 magic words. Yeah, nothing revolutionary, right? And that is the point. Before COVID, nobody was taking this seriously, right? It was very difficult to hire people for working from home. And because I was doing this long before that, I have been through that phase where finding talent was a huge problem. Because nobody was taking it seriously. Talented people wanted to come to office and work from a different environment. And thus it was very hard to find people. That was the biggest problem. But work from home after COVID became the new normal. And people started taking it more seriously. And it gave us access to better people. And then hiring from tier 2, tier 3 cities, because now we can hire from anywhere, also helped us with the cost management. And again, there's no rocket science to this, and everybody knows the benefits, pros and cons of work from home, so we are not going to spend a lot of time with that. So the main point was, it enabled me to bootstrap the studio. Costs were low, access to talent was better, and attending online events was also possible. Like lots of events were happening online, right? And I didn't have to go anywhere, and I could just do that and be connected with the community, right? And that was the most important part. Apart from work from home, another important thing that I did was this, right? It's not, I think, something that almost every studio in India has done at some point of time in their career, in their journey. And a lot of people are not proud of it, but this is something that gets you going. And my thinking was, it's better to make some games, earn some experience. I was at least learning new strategies, new ways of building games, getting better at Unity, at deploying games, and building of concepts and everything. It was better than doing a job in some other industry and bootstrapping your studio. It was better than even as a business. Some people go for web development, app development, or other sorts of software development and try to bootstrap their own studio. But for us, this opened lots of doors. And I tried to enter into the industry multiple times. And before 2020, that was when I was able to begin with Dunali Games. It was hard, but hyper-casual game concept testing was very, very prominent during those days, and a lot of publishers were working, and they were so it gave me an entry to game development. Apart from this, another good thing that happened with hyper-casual game testing was we came up with an idea. Now my video is not playing for some reason, but okay. So we came up with an idea of real-time chess, and that's a very unique and concept where chess pieces can move in real time. Now, chess is the world's most popular game, board game, strategy, turn-based strategy game. We moved it from turn-based to real time. And obviously the concept was too complex for a hyper-casual game, so we put it on the side. But months later, I got into a mentorship program, and over there I pitched the idea to my mentor, and he showed confidence in the concept. And we went ahead and built our first prototype again, I think. Oh, at least you can see it. Okay. So this was the very first prototype we built from the hyper-casual concept. And this got us started on our journey. And this is how our journey has been. Because of doing events from home, I could pitch my game to the Pocket Gamer Connect guys, big indie pitch, and we won the pitch. And after that, I again participated in Bharat Tech Triumph and won that. I got into Google's Accelerator program, and currently we are in Craft in India's incubation program. Everything working from home, not in Bangalore, not in Hyderabad, not in Pune. We could still do all those things because we just got started, and we kept on going. And that's, I think, the most important thing to do in this industry, or probably every industry. Now, the biggest problem working from home, working from non-traditional hubs is the community. I think that is the main problem everybody faces, because you can still reach out to, you can still connect with the community. I mean, other people, like you can work, you can find employees, that's fine. But how do you meet, how do you network with other developers who are going through the same journey, who are ahead of you? How do you talk to them, learn from them? So for that, there is something very good going on right now. GameDev.in has an initiative called Campfire. It's a regular online meetup. I think everybody from this community should try to attend this, whether you are a developer or an artist or even publishers, investors. Come on, guys, everybody. I mean, this happens very regularly. You can just get into the GameDev.in Discord server, and over there you will learn about this and many more meetups that happen, mixers and parties. Now in Delhi, we have started doing this. We started off with a year-end party, and then there are lots of mixers happening there. There was one by Xbox. This one is from Game Maker guys. This one was from Xbox. This was from Game Maker. So as we see that the community is building, more and more such events are happening, and the problem of not getting to the community is getting somehow solved. At least in our city, it is better than where it was 3 years ago. And if you are from any other city, I think you guys can also start doing that in your own area. Look for more people, find one, find two, find three. Eventually, you guys will also be able to find a bigger community in your own areas. And again, online meetups are always there where you can meet with anyone. So this is the thing, that you are the community. If you think there is no community in my city, you are the one. You are the first person to start it in your city. Find the second guy. Now, there's the next problem. Where are the publishers and investors? In Bangalore, it's very easy to just go to anyone and talk to. Is it so? Do you guys feel so, like anybody can walk up to your office? No, right? Exactly. Publishers are here. Investors are here. No matter where you live, you still have to go to GDC. You still have to come to IGDC. You still have to network. You still have to find people. So it does not really matter where you are located. Being in Bangalore might be an advantage that you can just drive down to their office, but as I mentioned earlier, working from home, everybody is quite used to get to online meetings. Of course, I'll say there could be like 2021, 1921, 19-20 का फर्क होगा, definitely होगा. If your circumstances can allow you to move to a bigger city and have a setup, pay lots of rents and everything, then sure, do that. But if that's not the case, then you don't need to be disheartened. Start somewhere and you will reach somewhere. That's the key takeaway from my short talk. Focus on what you can do and just start and keep moving forward. That's it.
Director of Engineering for DynamicNext. We have Vinayak Razdan here, who's the Director of Game Design. DynamicNext is a product-based game studio based out of Cochin. We have been in the industry for almost 10 years. And we are here talking about building gaming from non-traditional hubs. We'll just generally talk about us and how we, the mode in which we generally operate, and some of the details may help you in taking some of the decisions in your startup journey as well. Let me start with the founding team. So as you can see, we have actually a mixed kind of skill set within this founding team. When we started, we kind of identified 3 verticals to be core essential to create any kind of gaming product. That is, one is technology, other one is art, and the third one is game design. So we had previous experience on this ourselves, and we came together and created the company. So having a mixed kind of a skill set in the founding team itself will always kind of help you in figuring out the kind of problems that you may face in the startup journey. We have a long history of building and maintaining high quality games. The first game we started release was Downtown Mafia, which was a text-based MMORPG game back in 2012. Later on, we released Battle Cry, Poker Legends, Downtown Gangsters. So these kind of games were mostly focused on the international market, and quite recently we wanted to try something on the Indian market as well. So last year we launched a Teenpati game and a Ludo game. From this list, we can actually see that we don't really focus on a lot of number of games, right? We always wanted to keep our number of titles to be a minimum and keep on iterating them so that we can actually improve the quality over time. And how the kind of long-term support the game needs. It's not like you can release a game and immediately it becomes a success. You have to keep on trying different versions and different approaches. For example, our first game, Downtown Mafia, still is one of the major games, and we do have still active the updates and content going into it. This is kind of a before and after picture. The first one is from 10 years ago when we started. All 3 of us kind of moved into a single apartment. All 3 of the founders moved into a single apartment. We started working from it. We have been in that mode for that much time before we got our first office. We are a bootstrap company. In the early phases of our early months, we actually had the VC conversation going on. But being a small team, we found very quickly that it is almost impossible to have that conversation and then focus on the product at the same time. So we put our head down and then completely focus on the product. We launched our first version of Downtown Mafia in 6 months, and we became cash flow positive in another 6 months. Second image is from last month when we had a team get together during the Onam celebrations. As of now, we are a 50 people team working out of a special economic zone in Cochin called Smart City. These are some of the key metrics that we have. So we are stressing on the bootstrap part. Being in a title city, you will always going to be outside of the vicinity of the primary venture capitalist. But since we were bootstrapped, that wasn't much of a concern for us. But if your timeline is entirely very much dependent on VC funds coming in, then being in a tier 2 city might be a disadvantage for you. We are self-published. Being in a small team, being bootstrapped, we always have a small fixed budget which is actually always going back into the product in terms of arts. And we have in-house arts which actually drives campaigns which actually brings users and eventually gaining organic. Revenue-wise, we have maintained almost over $1 million kind of revenue for every year for the last 10 years. It is not a big number compared to a lot of successful games, successful studios, but we wanted to create a business model for the long term, and so far that has been working for us. One other key factor is that 99% of our revenue is coming from in-app purchases. From the beginning itself, we kind of identified in-app purchase is the way to go for our applications. And the kind of users who actually will purchase in your game will be the ones who are irritated by any kind of pop-up or a banner ad. So we stayed away from ads from day one. Even now, that also has been generally working for us. Then another fact is that 80% of our revenue is coming from US market. That kind of proves that being in India or being in a tier 2 city in India is not going to put you in a disadvantage. As long as you are listening to the audience and understanding the cultural nuances, you can still convert the users. These are some of the key product features that we have across all our products. We have a common framework which actually derives all the games. So which means a developer who understands one of our games can actually read through at least the code base of the other games as well. Other important factor is that we have a remote config system, which basically means we can redeploy configurations for the game, which is without really rebuilding or re-releasing an entire build. Auto scalability is always going to be an advantage that a feature that you always want to have in your products, especially the server scalability. You can choose AWS or Google Cloud, up to you, but make sure that your products, your backend is ready for an immediate surge in traffic and so on. Then another important factor is that almost all our products are focused on player versus player. So instead of actually creating a game developer designing 1,000 levels, a player versus player always finds a balance somewhere, and then which keeps them engaged. So we always recommend PvP integrated into all your games. Then the other major product factor is multiple platforms. You never want to build for Android and then again redo the whole work in iOS when you want to release in that platform. So stick with the platform which can actually build into multiple platforms. Analytics is going to be a key factor for any successful product. So we have our own in-game analytics systems using which we can plot our dashboards and actually get KPIs to figure out the next features and things that is needed into the game. For the next part, let me invite Vinayak to go through the details. Thank you.
So hi guys, I'm Vinayak Razdan. Besides coding and art, there's a lot other stuff that go into making a game. So I handle a lot of those other things as part of game design for DynamicNext. So the idea is like quality is the best business plan. We hear it a lot. But what is quality? Quality itself is very elusive term. How do you attain it? So what are the modes that can help you reach that state? So these have been our mode of operations till now. Like Jim said, all our products, all our games that we have built, they from day one they have been about live ops. Like we are building the games that will be played over long term. We will be putting content over the years into it, keep developing it till it gets better, till the quality keeps improving. Other thing is, who are the people who are that are going to make this game? The art, the devs, the GDs, the QAs, all of those we are having in-house. We didn't outsource any of it. We didn't like put in money, gave it to somebody and told them to make it. We said, oh, we are entitled to street, but still we will make it in-house. What is happening during that time is, it is talent that is getting shared and getting nurtured. But how do you hire these people? So you are in tier 2 city, how do you do it? So our thought was like, okay, we are in Kerala and a lot of people from Kerala are in the hub, which is Bangalore nearby. They're working there. Great experienced guys, getting great salaries there. So how do you get them back? The idea was that eventually a lot of them do want to move back, but there's no place that they can find that competitive, nice environment where they can work. So we tried to create that space in Kerala, and we managed to hire those guys back, and we needed experienced guys. So, and we were able to get them, and this is what we call win-win strategy. And during COVID, what we experienced that is growth of games. But they had limitations also. We were making more money, but we wanted to expand also. Work from home provided us an opportunity of hiring people from other cities also. Now our teams are actually spread across India. So we are hiring more people from Delhi, Jaipur, the teams are spread. And parallelly also what we are doing is we are keeping the team size compact, which is like we just hiring the experts who are going to be executing the product. Now, once you have started developing the product, you are working on it, you can be getting caught that you're just focusing on the product and you are trying to solve problems. But you should be in tier 2 city, you will need other people to talk to get experience from them, learn from their mistakes. So this is community building. So what we experienced in Kerala was initiatives from state government. Most people don't know about them when you're starting out. But we were able to reach out to people and who told us about these things that were happening. Like Startup Village, it was an initiative of Kerala state government. We managed to get our first hires from that place itself. The people we had, some of them are still with us, some of them moved on to create their own gaming companies, successful gaming companies in Kerala. So it's the beginning of a small ecosystem happening. Then there is Kerala Startup Mission, again state government thing where you can talk to the government, tell them about your needs. And recently we have a SAKE, Society of AVGRXR institutions in Kerala. This is a bunch of like-minded people sharing their concerns and talking to the government, helping with policy formations. You don't want to be talking to government people and government people saying, oh, what is going on with this whale game? A lot of times people don't know in the government what is gaming. So you need to be talking to people, have people who know what is happening and be able to put your point across to government. Of course, besides that, there's IGDC, always a great platform for us. We have been visiting here, learning from other people. Now, we have the team that is going to make the game. What do we make? So we say what we call as create emotions and not just content. So for emotions is why people are playing the game actually. You are triggering their emotions actually. So where do you get inspiration for creating content? Like my friend said, we are creating games sitting in Kerala for US. We have never been to US still. So how do you do it? How do you make game for people who you are never seen, don't understand their culture fully? What we know about US is coming from movies itself. And so see the challenge of the whole thing. So we recently saw this Rajamouli created RRR, it gets celebrated in Oscars. Great. But see the challenge with game, guys. We are sitting in Kerala, we are going to make a game, it's going to be celebrated in US. It's practically like Rajamouli sitting in Ratnagiri and making next MI10 with Tom Cruise. And it's going to be blockbuster in US. Very less chances of that happening. So let's see how we try to create these games that are going to work in US. What were our inspirations? Our inspirations were local, things we understood, but our aspirations were global. We want to be successful in global scale, in Western market. So this is our screen from Boss Fight, a very well-known concept in games. This is our Boss Fight screen from Downtown Mafia. It's a text-based RPG. The genre itself, understand the genre. The genre itself is as old as internet. So the guys who are playing this game are practically 60-year-old guys because they grew up on these games. So we identified the genre, created the game for them. We knew they can obviously spend in the game, we are making money, but they need new experiences. What is fresh you can bring to the genre. So what we did was, we said, okay, Boss Fight is there. What is the next thing that we can do? Where do we look for an inspiration? Bollywood. We have great culture of making movies and consuming movies in India. We know Bollywood movies. We don't have great culture of making games for these many decades, as many as we have for cinema. So what do we have in one of the formulas? This is an example. We have hero, we have the villain. Their enemies, they're going to fight. You know, he's going to defeat the bad guy. But some dance and fighting later, they're best friends. They are able to be best friends. So how do you put it in a game? What we did was, in our game, when you fight a boss, after defeating the boss, he is just going to join you. And we just kept releasing more and more bosses, more challenging, and the persons who are defeating them are earning them and eventually the persons who are playing this game for 10 years, they have a whole collection of bosses, and they are like showcasing it to each other. I have all these bosses with me. They can show what they did in these 10 years, and these all characters they have attained. This small feature has been part of most of our games now. Like this is a screen from our Downtown Gangster, which is a Unity-based strategy game, but boss fight here works in a similar way. Now, interestingly, this concept is familiar to the US guys also now. You know RRR, that's the same concept. The two guys, they are friends, then they, some dance and fighting later, they are enemies, and then they are again becoming friends. Another example of our local inspirations. After making RPG games, strategy games, we said, okay, we are going to go into poker. We are going to make a poker game. Already so many poker games out there, what can you bring to it? Unless you are able to bring something fresh into it, you're not going to work. So we looked at what is happening, what is not working in poker for people. So we looked at problems. One of the problems we saw was that people feel when they are playing poker that the game was not fair to them. That they were supposed to win this hand, but then something happened and you declared them, you lost, sorry. So that pisses them off, they leave the game. So how do you solve this problem? Again, so our solution was very simple. We looked around at another local inspiration. Everybody in India understands cricket. It's fun, we know all the rules and everything. But what made cricket interesting and even understandable a lot of people was when this whole concept of slow-mo, drama, the replays and everything was introduced to cricket. But it also introduced the concept of fairness. Like people could see whether the out was actually out, was the ball in line, not, and person is able to understand the game also. So we took the same concept of replay and put it in the poker. So when a person now loses and you declare him, they lost the hand, they can go ahead and watch the replay, play it in slow motion and see whether they actually lost and why they lost. They understand the game also better. So this is a game, this is now like in top 100 top grossing, we managed to create a space for ourselves. So this has been our journey till now. So thank you. I hope this helps you also in your journey. This is something for till now we have been making games for US market. This is now that we are saying, okay, let's try something for India market. So this is something that we are now building for India. Thank you guys.